notes for campaign.
Yeah, if only.
And Spark Notes.
But hey, Spark Notes aside, we're live. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, us. We have both Dans tonight. So we have IronDan and we have Dani, and we also have Blair joining us.
For the first time.
Yeah, for the first time. Welcome to the podcast. This is episode 3 of Take 20, and we're going to be talking about episodes 5 and 6 of the Rolling 20's. And Ben, I will turn the mic over to you.
Well, thank you, Fraya. Welcome back to anyone who's watching, and welcome for the first time, Blair. Hi, Blair. How are you doing?
Not bad at all. Totally not wearing anything below the waist right now.
That's nice.
So don't tell me to stand up.
Great. Well, I haven't to anyone yet, so I won't start tonight. And I'm the one on vacation. Now, hold on here.
Every day's a day off for me is a vacation, to be honest.
Nice. So I'm started out with a few questions for everyone else, their first time on the podcast. So I'm kind of just gonna throw a few things at you, and then we'll get into the episode recaps. So, as I've said repeatedly, the core dynamic of this group has been so insane to watch, like that you guys were able to hit it off and have so much chemistry just right off the bat. I know you had 4 episodes beforehand, but I was curious to see if you had any other like D&D roleplay experience or anything else that has been helpful as you started this campaign.
I've only been playing for like 6 months and 2 other campaigns before this one, so I'm a pretty recent addition. But the roleplay aspect's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy creating new characters and stuff like that. Theron's the quietest character I've played to date. I had a very, very raucous sorcerer who was sleeping with every female NPC he came across in one campaign. So getting to play the quiet guy is kind of nice, especially with such a chaotic group.
Rambunctious, to say the least.
Yep. I let Volcar, Kalis, and Quilly do all the talking, and I'm just like, I'm okay with this.
I've had a few notes in other episodes of just like how does it feel to be the kind of the cat wrangler?
It was not planned, that's for sure. But it's just like I'm just sitting there. I'm just, Volcar just wants to punch everything. Kalis, as brave as he is, the dice aren't on his side, and he just ends up just epically failing a lot of times. So I'm just like, someone's gotta just keep the group on track every now and then, So, and then Milo is just a whole other story.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we'll check back in on Milo next episode of this.
So, yeah, it's a dirty job, but it's a needed job. We'll just put it that way.
And I will also say real quick, on the note of checking back in on Milo, Blair, as it's your first time on here, Ben has not seen anything past episode 6 yet, as I know no one else has had the chance to, but just wanted to say he does not know anything that's happened after episode 6, so recent events, we will keep quiet, not spoil those for him.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I got you.
You haven't even uploaded episode 7 yet. I'm actually like
no, there was no stream this weekend because I've had a lot of life shit going on, so
yes.
Yeah.
But this is the first recording where I'm caught up and not talking about something for you guys about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So then I guess, Blair, my other quick catch-up question. Do you have, I guess when making Theron, why do I keep making that a hard T? What did you draw off of, I guess, for inspiration to make Theron? I know you said you had a few other characters, but do you have any other D&D media you consume, or just anything that you wanted to play as or try out?
When you're first making the characters, I think I heard on the last podcast, but I was gonna play a paladin to start, and I had like a page, like 500 to 600 words of backstory that I was ready to play the character. And then Kayla switched it up on me. And he's like, I really want to play a paladin. I'm like, oh, well, okay, whatever. You don't really need 2 paladins in the group. And at the time, it was a group of 4, right? So 2 paladins out of 4. Like, ooh.
Was it a group of 4?
It was because like when we first signed up for our first session 0, it was literally just you, me,
Wise.
IronDan, and Volkar.
Because
So I was
Izzy
just like,
wasn't there yet.
yeah. So I was
Nope.
sitting there just like, oh, we can't, we can't have 2 out of 4 of the party members being paladins. Like that's
You can
just,
never have too many paladins.
there's not.
Yes, you can.
not much-
One is too many.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just play an archer. And the main thing I'm trying not to do is I'm not trying to try to play like Vax. Like Theron is not Vax. He's not meant to be super edgy. He's just meant to be quiet, and he's meant to be the best way I could refer to it is he's a mix of like Captain America meets Tommy Shelby. Both war veterans, but both have seen some crap. Theron is from a completely different century, so a lot of the things he's seeing now he's never seen before, and he's never been to this continent before. So a big reason why he doesn't really talk to a lot of people or try to insert any sort of leadership is because he doesn't really know the city. He doesn't really know this time period that well. He's here to basically to learn. That's the best way I could describe him. But those 2 influences there, and then a little bit of Aragorn in there too. Obviously, the ranger and the explorer and stuff like that.
Nice. All right, cool. And as Theron has quickly learned, he is the brain cell of the group.
Yes. As he's quickly learned, people are not as experienced in the art of dealing with situations as he's used to.
Yeah. Boy, did that make it so apparent rather quickly in these episodes.
It'll come with time. I promise.
Maybe.
Yeah, Theron has
Maybe.
his slip-ups too. In our first episode, he went down a tunnel, and it did not go the way he thought it would.
Yeah.
So,
Well, first session. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna go down here. I'm gonna peek my head in, do a little scouting, come back up. As soon as I got down there, I got fucked. I'm not gonna expand on it, but yeah, I was just like, oh, this is not good.
It was bad.
Great. So, all right. I guess we'll start with the episode recap. We started, for this podcast, we started at episode 5, which I believe was everyone waking up Fort Thunderhead.
Yeah.
My first note just says Trauma Squad, which is just your group at this point.
That's a good name. I don't know if it'd be quite useful for like a mercenary group name.
Nope.
Mainly just because I don't think it would inspire much confidence.
Anybody would hire us. Yeah.
Well, you spin it like you just spin it like you're good.
Oh
at
yeah, we're the ones
trauma.
who deal trauma.
Yeah.
The trauma, yeah.
We're the ones dealing the trauma.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you could spin it that way, but yeah, we're definitely kind of a broken group of people after Fort Thunderhead. It's just, it is what it is.
At the end of episode, should I bring that up? What happened at the very end of episode 4?
No, we're gonna keep that in the
Okay.
pocket for now. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I started out listening. So, glimpse into what I was doing. I was started out listening to episode 5 like right as I woke up one morning, and we were like recapping everyone's visions, and I had the thought go through my head was, what was my vision? What did I do? And it was about 5 seconds until I'm like, I'm not in this campaign. This isn't me. I don't have any characters here. What am I doing?
I can write a vision for you if you want.
Host Ben gets his very own vision.
Pretty damn good at it too.
We have a lot of visions in this group. There's a lot of
Goodness.
dream sequences.
I'm still
That's
waiting for my
really-
dream sequence.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a lot more magic than I thought we would.
Yeah.
Early on.
Hey man, Age of Arcanum.
Yeah.
It's in the title.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Everyone slowly wakes up. Volkar, specifically, like tries to find the spot his vision was in and looks around to see if there's any tokens is not the word I want, but any clues or evidence left behind of the battle in his vision. Which leads me to, I'm not going to do the full segment here, but Blair, you don't know the segment yet. We'll get to that a little later. Like about 2 notes later. But Volkar says, looking stoic and not crazy over the ravine. So like that's a good phrase. Yeah, no one's a little stoic and not crazy.
I feel like that's the that should be the title of Volkar's life so far.
His
Yeah, you flip a coin, you don't know which one you're gonna get.
You don't know which one
Yeah.
you're gonna get. Either it's on the flip side, he's crazy in that moment of time, or he's attempting to be stoic.
Yep.
But you don't know which way you're gonna fall that day.
Even that hour.
Yeah.
In that hour,
In that
hell,
moment.
the minute.
Yeah. Theron, thank you, Blair, for being smart and taking a door off the hinges to try to make the bridge crossing back a lot easier.
I don't know what
The
to
brain
expect
cell
from Fraya.
group.
I was totally expecting like, oh, he's gonna make us roll for this again, so I'm gonna shortcut this one.
Oh, no, you did
You've
avoid
learned.
that. That was kudos, well played. That helped a lot, except Quilly happened, but
That bizarre look you gave me, you were like, what the fuck is this guy on about? Is he on shrooms or something? I was like, maybe I should explain myself on why I want this door real quick.
yeah.
So-
Well, you were like, "Can I take a door off its hinges?" And I was like, I mean, yes, you can. I don't know what you want it for, but
Again, like the brain cell of the group, it's always there, but it's the
It really
screensaver
is.
that just hit perfectly into the corner of the frame. It's
Yeah.
like, good idea.
like I said, I loved the bridge part that we had at the end of I think that was 3.
Yeah.
But at the end, when you look at it, it was like 30 minutes. So I was like, let's truncate this a little bit with the door.
Theron's all about just maximum efficiency.
Exactly. You
And
gotta save on the
runs.
travel time.
True.
So I have, oh goodness, there's a lot in the next episode, but for this one episode, we only have one round of Who Said It?
Oh,
That's right, everyone's favorite Take 20 game where I just pick a quote out of thin air and everyone tries to remember who said this phrase.
it's a lovely, lovely game.
It's,
great.
yep, the quote for this episode is, at least we got Giant's piss.
Kalis,
That,
right? Is that
No,
Kalis
I
or
don't
Quilly?
think
It's,
so.
it's one of those
Going
two.
with Willie on this one.
Yeah, it's a Kalis
I
or
think it's
Quilly.
cool. That's totally. Like,
It was very
I can
out of
hear
pocket.
Quilly. Yeah, I can see Quilly.
Yeah, I think Quilly.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I can hear it in her voice now. Yeah,
Yeah,
that had to be Quilly.
At least I got the Giants piss.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. What I love about her, she's like in her class and her role play, she's just very out of pocket a lot of times.
So good. So
Yeah.
good.
Hey,
So then we get back to the bridge, and Theron saves Quilly from falling off the bridge again.
oh,
God, just Frey even said, just like, athletics check. Just as long as we're avoiding that ones here, we'll be fine.
I'm always trying to convince Freya to give me acrobatics checks. I'm just like, so it's acrobatics check, right? this is the difference between a +7 and a +2.
yeah.
It's, it is a big
Life
difference.
and
It is fair.
death.
It is fair.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I
I don't know
So
what it
you
is
guys-
with Quilly though. Bridges is just not Quilly's thing.
Quilly.
Nature,
No.
I think, is the better word for her. Is, anytime she
Yeah.
goes outside, right, it's just a disaster, right? Airship and now a bridge, and yeah, it's like, yeah, keep her indoors.
Like, keep her indoors, the place in which she doesn't like to be. She likes to be out in
Yeah.
nature.
Yeah,
Which is the
yeah.
irony
For a
is
barbarian,
that every
right?
single time she's, had a near death situation has been traumatized, has been outside in her element. It's perfect. So good.
Yep.
Oh man. So after a successful, we'll go with successful bridge crossing again. You guys went back to Camp Sinclair, where you meet up with Tegan, also known as Take Notes. Someone here forgot Tegan's name.
Josh.
I remembered it. It was just,
Yeah.
No!
but I was like, I'm not gonna chime in because he's this is his territory. He's talking.
I thought it was Dani, Kalis.
Huh.
When
No,
I
it's
went
Josh.
back to it. Who
Must be
forgot
No.
Tegan's name?
I made a clip
Well,
of
I
it.
could've been
I'm
slightly
yeah.
shy.
It's
Okay,
clipped.
okay,
It's
that's
on
how you
YouTube
do it.
and social media. It is Josh. Yeah, I got to
Sure.
sass him a little bit.
I never
There
see
you
him
go.
take notes. I don't know if he does. Josh. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I take very
It's
brief
lost.
notes.
I
Yeah,
take
same here.
thorough notes.
the brain cell.
Makes sense.
I mean,
It all
I
comes
was-
together.
But I take no notes in scenes that Theron's not involved in. So like if it's like a conversation between like Kalis and like his paladins, I'm just like, oh, okay, time for me to not take any notes intentionally because I don't want to be that guy that brings it up, even though I
Not
technically don't know anything about it.
To
So
be
I'm
honest,
just like,
yeah.
yep.
I mean, most of the stuff that Kalis and like his whole big lore, like backstory and shit like that pertaining to the Order, is all pretty much just inside my head at all times. It's just memorized at
Yep.
this point. I just have so much that it's just that. Why would I keep it in a book? It really is that simple.
Well, that's the fun, right? It's like you can't you can't world build it and then just keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
Fun about that,
exactly.
unless you're me.
Yeah, self.
Or me.
Yeah, that was another thing I brought up in other podcasts is who's good at taking notes and how much. So that is still good insight, and also like I'm just taking quick notes on my phone. But again, we're all learning. I have to decipher them later, and half the time I will not remember them either. So
Yeah, there's a
I'm
lot
glad I
of
don't
times
have
where
to
having
do that.
like a long conversation with NPC, and again, thankfully, I'm not the one spearheading those conversations a lot of times. So you'll just see me furiously typing.
Yep.
Oh, and then it's very quiet, and that's me taking all the notes.
mhm.
Unfortunately, we have a member in our group in which it kind of backfires that they don't take notes.
I think it's actually great because it's
We'll get
no,
there.
it absolutely works.
We won't say
considering
anything
the
other than that,
character.
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's oh man.
And it'll 100% show up in the episode that's gonna release next.
So we had a bunch of side quests, not quests. What's the word? I don't know. Character.
Conversations.
Yeah, side conversations that happened at Camp Sinclair. Thank you. Great word.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blanking on words today. Again, I'm on vacation, so.
Yeah, no
It's
worries.
fine. It's fine.
Quilly gives Kalis a haircut, which
Thank
doesn't go
God.
as horribly as I wanted or feared.
Imagine she gets a natural one, but she just makes the just most majestic mohawk. Just
That would be
it
great.
absolutely was not wanted.
Mullet
but it's
Kalis.
I don't
Pass
think
failed
Mullet Kalis
successfully.
would. In my head, Mullet Kalis would kind of like have some Obi-Wan Kenobi vibes from
Yeah,
Attack of the
yeah,
Clones.
that's true. That's true.
So it wouldn't be too bad, but it's just something just completely. I don't know. He'd have like a rat tail or something. Something just really like out of the blue. That would have been funny. But yeah, Quilly did a good job. She did
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. And Volcar did a surprisingly, I don't know, good job with the scrimshaw. Which just kept adding to throughout the episode of how much scrimshaw.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's
It's
fine.
like, all right, good enough. It's fine. We had a lot of time at Camp Sinclair. It's fine.
Yeah, and half of them were shitty anyway, so whatever. It's fine.
Remember, was it Milo had like the exquisite crossbow, but just
Yep.
stick figure of a body? Yeah.
Yep.
yep.
yeah.
They try to give me the crossbow, and I'm
Man.
like, I just can't see Theron using a crossbow. I just can't see it.
No. Actually, crossbows are like holy water to elves.
Yeah, it's like I'm too elegant for this.
Yeah. If they touch it, the hands just burn.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a point and shoot. Get that away from me. It's blasphemy. That's how I imagine it.
IronDan, we get a lot more glimpse into Derek's backstory because we have Derek and Kalis talking about quaddles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no minor illusion in Vasselheim, and then source of Derek's abilities ?
Oh, the minor where did the minor illusion come through?
That's
I think you
when
made
he
the
was
image
using-
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically
Of the
just trying to
quaddle, that
explain-
is.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
quaddle. Yeah, that was an interesting avenue to go because Kalis, because we had talked about this
Mhm.
outside of the game. It's like, yeah, Kalis and Derek haven't really had the signature Kalis one-on-ones where he goes
Mhm.
around with every character and has his one-on-ones, and so I think it was naturally coming. But yeah,
I enjoy all of his like sending stone conversations because I just love how the kids just snatch that shit every time.
Yes.
Every time, like Freya's like, "Oh," and someone's about to do the sending stone, I'm like, "Please, some kid, some little shit, just come up and snatch this thing."
Yeah, no, we I'm sure all the viewers, at least I am anyway, also just like, oh, how bad is the return message going to be this time? I think 6's was still pretty good, even though it didn't have any of the kids.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that, and I love his little girlfriend talks. Those are always just a joy.
I think here, at least is where
You know,
my
funny
note is.
thing about Zalana, when I was making those, because I was making characters for the caravan, I completely forgot Derek was a PC, not an NPC.
Yeah.
That might explain. My note is for 3 caravans.
So-
Derek sells at his parents' alchemy stand. What you did
Oh.
before this, I think. Like, oh, that's cool.
Like, he helped around
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I think this is the first where we heard. Well, we knew it was caravan, but 3-week caravan.
Which apparently Kayla's never heard of.
Yes.
Despite being
Somehow.
in Vasselheim.
They're pretty big.
Yeah.
They are pretty big. Hey, maybe he just never got to that part of town. Who
He's
knows?
too busy being wealthy or being around wealthy
He's not
people.
even wealthy as the
being
funny
around
part.
wealthy people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too busy being
just-
protective of his bed.
He just doesn't leave the bougie district.
He'd leave the bougie district just not to go anywhere else in the city. He'd just leave the city.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's bougie district or out.
Yeah. Or like
Yeah.
occasionally the birthheart. Occasionally. But yes,
Occasion-
otherwise, yes. Yeah.
Let's see what else happened at Camp
Yeah,
Quilly and
that's,
Nyla talked about their visions.
That's a portion of Kalis that's interesting to delve into though. Where he's kind of insulated in this society that's so far that could be seen as so far removed from the rest of the city. And
Yeah.
then he just, as soon as he basically joins up with this group, he hit with a, kind of a stake of reality, good old,
Or I might
Cold
say a
straight to the
dart
face.
of reality.
yeah, That's true.
Hey.
Yeah.
Net to
Yeah,
reality.
yeah, net too. Oh my goodness. But yeah,
As sheltered as you are, you still know your Ubushi district very well, as noted at the end of episode 6.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Still at Camp Sinclair. Quilly and Nyla talk about their visions, which we have more to talk about that at the end of episode, or towards the end of episode 6 as well. No, that's just the first half of episode 6. Kalis asks Theron about Elvish.
Yes. This was something that I was really hoping I could get to at some point. Because I think I was, being the nerd I am, I was going through the player's handbook. And I was looking through languages and stuff like that. And I was looking at some rule or something pertaining to some rules, if you spend I think it was 200 something days and or a gold piece and concerted effort on something, then you could learn a language. And in my head I was like, oh, this is perfect, because a very very important character beat that we'll eventually touch on in this episode is going to be mentioned. It's or I actually didn't know it was going to be mentioned, but it's going to be perfect for it because it absolutely makes sense. And that's pretty much the rationale behind it. And also I just think it's cool trying to learn a language inside the game. But yeah. And I was really hoping that I could pull out an actual Elvish word, because I do know a single word. And I forget it was Sindarin or Quenya, but actual Tolkien Elvish, which I don't know if it actually applies to this world in terms of logic, but I think it was hey, it's a word it makes sense. So I was like, oh, maybe next time.
If I think Theron respects Kalis the most out of the group, so if anybody else had asked him, he'd be like, "No, go away. I'll see you in the morning."
Which is so
Not
hard
even
to
Kalis'
gauge.
best friend Volcar.
Yeah.
Theron does not like Volcar very much at all. With Theron's background of being like soldier and discipline and things like that, seeing someone just angry all the time and doesn't care who he hurts, it really really annoys Theron. There was a moment in before we started streaming where we went to a like a bar slash club. The tavern, yeah. And we're not even in there for 5 minutes, and Volkar's already trying to like manhandle some young woman, and Theron's just in there, just like, oh my god, like you don't know these people, and you're already throwing out wild accusations. Yeah, but
he'll grow on you, I promise.
Yep. But I think where Theron really started to respect Kalis is when they came to that kind of crossroads where they had to go north or south, right? Go to these ruins, stop these things, or potentially save some people. And I think Theron would much rather save some people, at least try to save some people before going up some ruins.
That's what I said. It's like, can we at least try?
Exactly. Like Theron, he's like, to his mind, they're hot on the trail. They might still be alive. It's worth trying to help them.
In hindsight,
I gotta say, I love the dynamic of the cleric and the paladin being the two most polarizing characters so far. It's actually really cool because it doesn't usually happen that way. Like, our cleric is I can't say our biggest wild card, but like, he's the hothead. Just time and time again. And the paladin is like the mysterious brooding one. Mm-hmm. And it's
kind of like
it's such a cool dynamic. It's unexpected. I was not ready for any of it. I was not anticipating it, and it's really cool. I forget Volkar's a cleric until he uses spells almost every time.
What I love about it, though,
like,
is that,
what the fuck?
Yeah, I love it though, because Josh really, you can tell that, like, at the same time, he very much is a cleric of Chord, though. It's just he's not that goody two shoes, devout type that we normally see. He is very much as chaotic as his god is. So
I like it.
What
we got next, Ben?
Chaotic actions make sense.
Yeah.
Next is Kalis coming out of the tent, and Milo misses. So Milo net out of the day.
Yeah.
That's just always fun. And it's always fun. Freya's like, all right, anything else before we head out? And Mike is like, actually. I'm like, oh,
so good.
So good.
Yeah.
And then we get the Merca teleporting back to Birthheart. Oh my god. My note here is just, why do I hate Merca's voice?
It comes off as very I'm better than you. Yeah.
Well, you see, I made him to be quite grating as a character. Hey, he's good at what he does, man. Well. There's a reason he's in charge, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I respect him for that.
Yeah. He's an asshole. Everyone knows it, but he does what he needs to do.
He gets shit done.
You guys then update Merca, which with part of the truth. You update him on everything you want to update Merca on.
Little part of the truth.
Yeah. Which is totally not going to come back at all. I'm not feeding Freya's creative juices as I'm speaking at all.
A half truth
we all learned?
Is still a half of a truth.
Yep. That's fair.
Better than the truth.
It's like, hey, I didn't lie to you. I just maybe forgot something important.
No, you did all blatantly lie. There were blatant lies in there. There were at least 4 outright lies.
Yeah, there were 4 lies. There were lies.
Not that Freya kept count.
It was half truths and a lot of lies.
I never said Kalis was a upstanding paladin. Okay, it happens.
You repeatedly said the opposite too.
Yeah.
It was a group effort. You all lied. It's cool. None of you stopped it, so.
It's good.
Yeah.
Trying to get copyright episode 2. We now have multiple references to what's a quaddle? Oh, just look it up in my book of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
It's great because the actual books that Quilly has, which she bought before we started recording, are all Where the Wild Things Are references and ripoffs. And that's not what they're ever referred to as. It's always the Fantastic Beasts. So I can't stop it, I guess.
Hey, it was so open. It was just such an easy, like, reference. Don't sue us, I beg you. It's not worth it.
So let's see. You get back to birthheart, and basically, after.
Actually, a point on the Fantastic Beast thing. I think it'd be absolutely hilarious if we did do a play on the name of like kind of what's it called? The opposite of fantastic. So mundane like beast, and where not to find them.
Mundane beasts and where they likely
so like
aren't.
just completely avoid them. Because like why not? I think that would be a hilarious like idea for a book. But
it's just like
mundane animals.
It's like it's like raccoons.
So
like
great.
just like raccoons.
Yes.
You can find them at the nearest dumpster. They fart on you. Don't go anywhere near it.
So good.
All right, it'll go on my use these names list.
Rats. You can find them in sewers. They shit everywhere. Avoid them.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Turtles alongside the rats eating pizza. Anyway.
Oh God.
Delicious pizza.
Yeah, let's see. You're in birthheart. It basically split up into 3 separate groups.
Oh yeah.
The bounty group. Bounty group went to the cradle to pay off the rest of Milo's bounty.
Oh, we have a representative from each group here.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. So yeah, let's do the Milo thing first, I guess. Any discussions around that?
I mean, my notes are very quick and dry at this point.
That's a pretty quick scene.
Yeah.
I just love the attitude they all give to him
Oh
when
my
he goes in there to
God.
pay it off. It's like just like give us the money and go away.
I mean, have you ever been to a courtroom before? They're awful.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one wants to fucking be there.
Nope.
I know.
Anybody
I
who
had
just
jury
comes
duty
in
before, so
Yeah.
no one wanted to be there.
Everyone just comes in for jury duty is just like, get me out of here. I want to. I'm sitting through this.
Yeah.
I'm doing the minimal amount because.
Well, it's just funny because it's his thing to pay off, right? But like, mom and dad go in there and pay it forward.
Yeah,
right.
right.
Yeah, but
Like he barely talks.
And always
you know?
talk directly to Milo.
Yeah. And it's like every time we split the party in some way, and we never let Milo go by himself.
Yeah.
And he's always got
Not
one
anymore.
parent with him.
This comes up a little later, but I'll just say it now. My other note is free Milo freely chooses to stay with the group.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no social pressure there.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm sure Milo is still just like, it's fun, adventurous, and I get paid, so it's fine.
That'd be really funny if Mikey actually really just didn't want to play Milo any further. This
Yeah,
could have been a
and he just
perfect
said,
segue into another
I'm
character.
leaving. Yeah.
And then he's like, "No, you're not. You're staying with us." It's like, come
It's fine.
on.
I could work with that. I could get him out of the party if I really wanted to.
You could kill him if you.
You have enough NPCs, even just from this episode.
Well, he has
Yeah.
a constitution. I just
Yeah, it's
You know,
pretty easy to kill.
yeah.
True.
Well, there's a ton of NPCs that actually that reminds me. There's a ton of NPCs that came out in this episode.
Oh my goodness, yeah, there were.
I finally got to do half my job.
Yeah, a lot came out of this next group, which is the Cobalt Reserve group.
Mm-hmm.
I might have
Yeah.
misheard.
Yes.
Yeah, Cobalt
That
Reserve.
was,
Mhm.
that was your NPCs were. I didn't even write down this guy's name correctly.
Arwap. Yep.
Barwop skin bim.
BW.
Yeah, the moment Frey said, I'm like, I am not saying that. Like, Theron would never, ever, 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 ever say that name.
Well, okay,
You'd
so
probably just initial it for him.
you walked in there, and I was like, okay, I know this place is going to be opening up pretty soon and kind of getting more like more of an official thing going. They'd probably have someone working here. And I was like, I could be boring and put an elf here or some of the other, common faces you'd expect to see. I was like, or I could be an asshole. And I was like, no would be fun. And then I was like, damn, I have until he finishes the sentence to have something about this guy so I can start talking. And he just happened in that moment, and I love him now, so...
He's that character that you just he's kind of like the what's her name in Monsters Inc., where it's just like all the employees avoid her. He kind of like that.
Oh,
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why do you think he's at the front desk alone?
Yeah. Like just sign my pay stub, let me go, and please don't talk to me.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there, other than we get the best NPC. That's all my brain focused
He
on.
loves talking about pigs. Pigs
Yes.
is his shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Volker got stuck talking about pigs forever.
Oh, it was his own doing.
It was.
Yeah. He
was
said
warned.
the wrong fucking thing, man.
Yeah.
I was so close to
him out, too.
actually jumping back into that and playing through that, but I was like, I'll get carried away. We'll be here way too long, so I'll just gloss over it because yeah, I'll waste some
Pretty
time.
sure this was the longest episode already, so probably good move.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
universe rise, wrong move.
Fair. Let's yeah, we meet Lulu. Well,
Lulu, the librarian.
we already met Lulu, but the viewers meet Lulu for the first time.
I met Lulu.
Yes. And it's quite a conversation.
It's
a good one. It's Volkar was like, let's talk to her and get some information around. I'm like, well, okay, we can, but you're like the last person I want to bring to meet her, so sure, whatever. But let's do it, but you can only talk to her while I'm supervising you, so because the last thing I need is him like choking out my grandma.
Oh, she would fuck him up.
I would hope so.
She would fuck him up.
Don't miss any dwarves.
Yeah.
She is Master Oogway. She really is.
Yeah,
Theron just walks in, just
probably.
She has Volkar's finger in her palm, just squeezing it. He's on the floor. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
Any member of the Cobalt Soul who has survived what Theron has survived is probably not a damsel. Even Barwa probably did something credible.
He's
Why did you
definitely
use so
killed
many
people
pigs?
in horrible
Yeah.
ways.
He probably has like explosive pigs somewhere.
Yeah. Incendiary pigs? No joke,
Yeah.
that's a real thing. That was a real thing in real life. I'm not kidding. Incendiary pigs.
Like we keep joking about it, but he's probably the end game boss. Like he's probably just come out with like some pig that can fly, and he's probably riding it. Like, honestly,
It's gonna be on like a Monster Hunter Elder Dragon level pig.
Yeah.
That's canon.
All right, well,
The
we
new
might need to make
form?
this a one shot eventually. This is incredible.
I'm down.
Yeah.
The new
Angry
form
pigs.
of travel is flying pigs,
Yep.
introduced by Barwab.
It could be just like a horror one shot, and we're all just playing Barwop's victims.
And he's just a slasher villain.
Yeah.
And he just feeds the bodies to the pigs. That's why he has them.
That's their
Yeah.
Wears a pig mask.
It's like what, payday. Oh man.
Oh God. I gotta stop
anyway,
thinking about
our other group is the library group. Kayla talks to Garrison. Garrison.
Oh, this is a good one.
This is a great conversation. I love this one.
I just love Garrison as a character. I love interacting with Garrison. It's very much like it's basically like Kalis' big brother in a way, slash father figure. And not only that, I remember vividly after being told by everyone else, hey, at the beginning of the session, hey, let's have a lighthearted session. it's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good one today. We're not gonna be so somber and melancholic, and then all of this shit that I just talked to Garrison about is just doom and gloom. Okay, this is where we're gonna go with this. All right, sounds good.
You ruined it, man. I thought Bar Walk was all the comedic relief we needed.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We were on a pretty high note there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Game should have gone first, then Bar Wop.
yeah.
Yeah. So we had your breakout library group. That's right. Then we came back. Free Milo freely chooses to stay with the group. You guys go to the bar and to drink, much deservedly, at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Was it like early afternoon?
Yeah.
And
Well,
That's
real
the
quick.
usual time.
Real quick, I want to backpedal a little bit. Ben. So
Yeah.
clearly the conversation between Garrison and Kayla is pretty grim. There's some signs of some pretty big things going on. I would like to get what was going through your head hearing these things, and also what do you think about Garrison? Because I love him as a
Garrison's
character,
great.
but I just
Garrison.
I don't know. I haven't heard from the outside what you think of the dynamics between them. I was kind of when we were writing him kind of together. Afterward, I was like, damn, I got to think of this guy's personality, and I was like, I kind of feel like in a weird way, he and Kalis are like a slightly more intelligent Beavis and Butthead when they're together. So that's all I can think of anymore. But yeah, I don't know. Just tell me what was going through your head in that scene and all that. I'm just curious because it's a pretty big one.
It is. I'll just go dynamic wise. I love Garrison, Kayla's dynamic. The fact that Garrison is stuck behind a desk now and absolutely hates it is fantastic. Playing that off of, and then just their oh my.
It's so indicative of like the person who works like a 9 to 5, doing something that they kind of like, or like that they're really like into, and then they get promoted to management, and they're just like, I hate my job now. It's essentially what it became.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Then the dynamic between you two, especially Kayla's just like, don't freak out. I need to tell you these things. And the manager's like, it's literally my job to tell everyone else that I hear about these things. So choose your words wisely, and then you just say them anyway. It's like, I ignored half of those. It's fine.
Yeah. It's like, definitely one of those things, one of those relationships in which Kalis definitely has a ton of trust just built up over years of just being with Garrison through tough times, through missions. He basically trained him to what he became. So he has just a bunch of innate trust in the man.
Yeah.
So then dumping all of this kind of crazy, oh yeah, by the way, we may have discovered a plot pertaining to the resurrection of a dead, god, essentially.
Yeah.
Law. So I don't exactly know what we're gonna do here, but yeah, I'm just telling you just in case,
Right, exactly. Great. Just totally casual things.
And he retorts with more bad news on top of more bad news on top of more bad news.
Yeah, which is not what any of us expected, to be perfectly honest.
He's just like, I solved the problem, and I got 4 more problems for you.
And I've learned that the solved problem isn't solved. So
yes,
correct.
But that was definitely interesting. Being on the opposite end of hearing all that bad news, though.
Oh yeah.
I was just curious what the rest of the group was thinking. They're like, what the hell? Like, what is this? What's happening right now? Because a lot of it pertained to stuff that was going outside of the continent, outside of Isilra. And then a lot of it also then came back to the continent, and it was like, by the way, the city is gonna be it's gonna be changing up a bit,
Yeah.
A little change in management. And so everyone was like, what is happening here?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually curious. I'm actually going to throw it to Theron and Derek. I want to hear what they were thinking as all this was going down, because I'm curious as to what they were thinking.
Theron doesn't really care too much whoever takes over the city because he just doesn't know anything about his politics. And so when he hears there's a new marquis in the city, he's just like, Okay, we'll see where it goes. It's kind of the last thing on my priorities list. Our biggest problem is we got 2 naked people trying to bring back a god. Well, we got one person, naked person trying to bring back a god, and we've got another one who wants to stop it, but she's not so good herself. So, that's more on his mind than who's leading the city. But stuff going on outside the continent, he is interested in that too because he knows that he has associates out there, traveling the world, and he's kind of curious what's happening with that. But other than that, Theron doesn't really care too much about this marquee until this marquee comes in and actually starts taking action.
Yeah, Derek is probably the same way because he's worried about is a caravan.
Yeah.
So marquee.
Well, they all die.
No.
I'm not that mean. Come on.
We don't
that's
know
the
if there's a
marquee,
red wedding waiting to happen. Okay, we don't know.
Depends on what you guys do.
Yeah, but with him, marquee, as long as they don't affect the caravan anyway, he doesn't really care. What he does care about is that his caravan is going to one of the countries that might go to war with the Empire.
Which you sending stones as they basically was like, oh hey, any updates? And you're like, yeah, there's war coming. Anyway,
yeah, that's pretty much.
Hey, where you're going is probably bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out for incendiary pigs.
Oh fuck.
Okay, but how
Use
about
that
it's
at some
just
point now.
how about out of character? I'm just curious what you guys actually thought of because that's a big shift in tone.
Yeah,
kind of.
out of character, I
Yeah.
will say when we first started this, I really thought that this would be a very self-contained on a Silra campaign. So when you get all this lowdown, I'm like, oh my god, we might actually be leaving this continent at some point and dealing with this shit. So it's a big shocker to me because it just feel like the plot thickens, and everything's expanding. So I am personally really excited to see where it all goes.
It's a big
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, for me, it's like Vasselheim will be our hub, and then we just go out there. That's specifically why I want to do the caravan because they have a reason to go outside the continent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thank
this is a
you
good
for handing me
segue.
that plot device.
Uh-huh.
You need any more? I got plenty.
Hey, Vasselheim's our hub for now.
I think you all have enough on your
knows?
plate at the moment. So.
Yeah, Vasselheim's still our home.
Yep.
But yeah,
I mean, even 12 sessions in, it's still hard to get a good idea of what type of campaign this is going to be, right? Whether it's going to be
I don't even know.
Exactly. Yeah. So I love it. I'm here for the ride, man.
Oh, boys. Saying that after all of these revelations makes me worried. But mostly just for your sanity, not for much else. Really, the way we close out this episode then is just everyone at the bar shared their visions. And I believe we hear Juniper's name for the first time.
yes, we
On
do.
with it.
I finally get
Yes.
to talk about it.
Yes.
How many? Even on the podcast last time, I was trying to dance around it because I knew I was like, it's gonna be mentioned.
No,
But
was.
yeah,
Under that 5.
but yeah, that was a big point.
I don't. Not too much new came up. I think it was just everyone getting on the same page of what their visions were.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless I'm mistaken and forgot a thing, but
I think. I mean, we could go through the visions, do a soft recap, because even I'm kind of iffy on some of them.
Volcar had
Volcar
the
was- yeah.
battle at Fort Thunderhead.
That's right.
Milo had the woman at the fountain. He recognized Quilly, the airship.
Oh, Quilly was a big one.
and Quilly was a big one.
Yeah.
Eric, IronDan, who had the snake and the light from within.
Yeah.
Kayla and Theron. Why am I blanking? Hold on.
I can go through the Kayla one. I know that
There
one
you
in
go.
depth.
Yeah, you guys should know your visions and mine. You don't need me for that.
I mean, if you want to go first, because
Yeah, let's
Chronologically,
take
you want
Theron's
first?
first.
Well, Therons are always funny because they feel more like memories and they feel like visions. That's the one thing that always cracks me up about him. But basically, it's a familiar but still unknown voice telling him that it's time for him to journey into the new world, basically. And at the end, the person that reveals itself is not who he expects. We'll just
That's a very tactful way to put that. Ben, you should know what that means. End of episode 4.
Do?
But
I do.
yeah, we'll put that lid back on that box for now.
And
And then we
Kayla's
get the big one.
The one in which some, one little explanation of the dream leads into a big part of the character's kind of identity at this point, which is, he had a partner at some point that the group just recently learned about, like just then. At that point, it was never mentioned before.
Yep.
They were like, "Oh shit!" But so it was. I mean, I can kind of give the rundown. They went to a village by the name of Devendal. They were investigating some disappearances. They get there and it is just in tatters. It was in ruins, and they get confronted essentially by the perpetrator. A very mysterious creature of some kind, akin to like a demon, and his minions, and in the process, Juniper dies. Sadly, for Kayla's, I'm the one who wrote it, but it is what it is. But yeah, it was, and then there was that. So that's basically running through that memory, and then proceeds to be confronted by this elf cart driver. And what was he? Was he impaled?
Yes.
Stuck under the cart and impaled, yeah.
Yeah, and the shadowy figure, if I'm not mistaken, beside him. And then then Kalis decided to go try to save this cart driver.
He was actually stuck underneath the cart.
Yeah. But he definitely tried to save him. And then gets approached by, and then he notices a black cloak glowing with him. Or like alongside him, basically. Yeah, and then that was pretty much the dream. And then basically running through that with the party and, telling them the sob story that is
his sad
Kalis's.
monologue.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that was
Your character's a lot more
end.
dark. Your character's a lot more dark than I thought when you had met in the first episode. I was just like, oh, here's this naive young paladin.
Yeah. It's dark.
Yeah.
Not naive, just traumatized.
There's some lighter there's much lighter sides to the character, which I do enjoy as well, which was seen in episode 6 at the end.
Yeah.
But he definitely has this undertone of self, like he has a self-confidence issue, and it's visible to like pretty much himself, maybe not on the outside. He puts up this front of, I know what I'm doing, but on the inside it's like, do I know what I'm doing? It's like it's an overcompensation in a way. And I remember from last podcast you talked about influences, and that's definitely an influence that I pulled from other like high fantasy characters. Some deep like image issues. You don't know how to like place himself in the world now that like one of his main support figures is gone. So how is he gonna like rationalize this? And then so he just basically tries to adopt this identity of saving people, of saving everyone that he can, like as his partner would have done, and basically tried to entrust that mission, that lifelong mission of hers, onto him, which is not his, like, that wasn't his original like identity at all. That wasn't who he was. but as like in a way, if anyone is familiar with Final Fantasy VII, it's kind of like a Zack Fair with Cloud. Like basically Cloud like adopts this identity of Zack and then pursues to go, spoiler if anyone hasn't.
God,
Sorry,
how dare you
it's been
spoil a
30
17-year-old game?
It's been 30 years, okay. But yeah, that was definitely, it wasn't an influence actually at the time, now that I think about it, but it definitely is like very reminiscent of it. It's definitely like a big parallel. But yeah,
Nice.
that was a very interesting moment to explore with the rest of the party because they finally realized like, oh, whoa.
Man, this
This
guy's
is it.
really fucked up.
This guy,
Basically.
but the only reason I actually let out that plot point is because it was just, I was talking with Fraya. It was such a good time to release that information.
Yeah.
It matched so well with what was going on. The actual like the prayer book, right, which is how we learn of all this, was a little plot point that I was, kind of hinting at through the entire campaign so far. Even at the beginning, like the very first session, when they were basically walking to this village a couple hours away, he was like, yeah, along the way he pulls out his prayer book and just starts writing. And then you learn through this big conversation with the party about this big trauma dump that these are letters to his dead partner, which is a very sad thing that you actually to think about, right? It's like shit, all this regret, all of this sadness, he just puts pen to paper instead of actually talking to people.
Yeah. Yeah, Trauma Boys.
Trauma boys.
Is that why he was asking about Zalana? Because to him, I was like, why are you asking about her specifically? Like,
He was interested.
mentions-
He was just
he
interested,
is interested.
not in her.
We've seen Kalis has a little bit of a penchant for gossip, a little bit maybe. Just
He just likes
Gossip's
to
a
know.
good way to put
Well,
that.
at the time,
Yeah.
I didn't know, but now I know.
yeah.
Not that he tells people. He's not. He doesn't like to like spread other people's
He's just
secrets.
curious.
He likes to know about people, especially like this group of people who he's grown close to, ever since the loss of his partner, because that was the last person that he kind of knew in depth, and with another character that has yet to be introduced, but. Yeah, that was the last time. So as soon as he starts, kind of gaining this newfound trust in a new group, then he's like, okay, I want to know more about them. And so inquiring about potential exes is mainly just, it's like I'm trying to gauge what he's about. Maybe there's turmoil in paradise, trouble in paradise. That's one way of putting it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is Derek also on an eternal vengeful quest, or is it just a friend?
Oh, now he's on our eternal vengeful quest.
Right.
yeah. But yeah, that's our sad end to episode 5. Which is such a roller coaster, and that roller coaster continues for a while, even beyond episode 6. It's just begun for you, I'm afraid.
Great, love it. Therapy and muffins.
Therapy and muffins.
So okay, well, let's just get into episode 6 then. My first note is oh wait, no, I lost my note. No, come back. Theron is stuck talking.
Oh, is that how we wrote me off?
That's how we started the episode. Yeah.
I just said you were doing elf
see that.
stuff that we
Yeah,
never
I can do that.
specified too much, but yeah.
But I imagine he got caught up with Barwop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Always.
Unintentionally, 100%.
All the explosive pigs got out in the reserve, and you had to go round them all up. The whole day.
You keep saying this, it's going to become canon.
I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
Angry Birds, but role reversal. Next note is bats and nets.
Oh yeah, they did try
Really,
to. They used the sack of bats finally and tried to catch it in a net that isn't.
That was
size
too
for
big
bats.
for bats.
Yeah. But it was fun anyway.
Red
We
Bull
should've
boys
took the bunny.
run off.
I don't know if we're ever gonna use that jar of piss.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. I won't say anything, but we'll get there.
I'm sure you can find some way to use it.
Yeah.
Red Bull boys run off drunkenly into the town. Volcar just wanting to punch something.
Yep.
Kayla's apparently looking for his old bed.
Yep.
Yep.
I was not expecting that one, by the way. Like, okay, Volcar walking off to the pit. I was like, yeah, that's pretty on brand. But yeah, Dani, as you were talking, you were like, slowly, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go up to the reach, and I'm gonna go to the east wing, I think it is. And I was like, uh-oh, this can't be good. I'm gonna find my old bed. I was like, I was not prepared for this.
Whole interaction with the the new kids on the block, that was that was really funny to deal with.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of these other notes coming up.
It's like, Jesus, get out my bed, man. Like, this is big
This
dumbass
is the
thing in
level
my
where
bed.
our first episode of level 4.
Oh.
Yeah, we
It's
hit level
right.
4. Blair, did you happen to catch up on 6 at all? I don't know if you've watched it to get the events.
No,
or...
I haven't had the chance. It's been a
Okay.
lot of work.
That's fine. That's fine. I was just curious though, so you're gonna probably learn some stuff. Most of it you've probably picked up on through later stuff, but yeah.
Biggest one was the prostitutes. That was a big one. Oh, that's why I got those episodes.
Prostitutes, homie.
Okay.
They're high class escorts. Very different. Okay.
Yes, I'm sure they are, Kalis. Kalis is still probably wondering how children are made.
I think he knows at this point. I think he knows at this point.
Yeah, because
Definitely
you and
dawned
Penny,
on him.
Penny's like, "Oh, let's go back to my home," and you're just like, "And do what?"
Oh, he actually doesn't know that her name's Penny.
Spoilers, but it's fine. It won't mean anything yet. But yeah, Kalis in the bed. Volcar wins by default, being drunk in the pit by himself. Quilly sleeps on the roof.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go.
Hold on. You sent a hold on.
Oh.
I had to send a text to make sure that there was
Was it a
still
drunk text?
spaghetti. for
Please
dinner.
tell me it was a drunk text.
No. Rebel boys run off drunkenly into town. Derek sends a message. So here's where you actually warned your caravan.
Yeah.
Of all the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that's when the message came in. It's like, hey, just checking in. How's everything?
Yeah.
And you're like, bad.
Yep.
Everything's
Bad.
going to be bad. Everything's good for now, but going to be bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're driving off of. I don't know what's gonna go with that. I lost it.
We're not driving off a cliff yet, but there's a cliff up ahead.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We are driving toward it.
Right. All that X, and then when I come back from sending that message, everybody was gone.
Yes.
I
There's
love
my
that.
nose. Derek comes back to an empty table.
It's such a good moment.
And then I go make a scroll
Yes.
because that shit is underutilized.
Yes. That was most of, I guess, how you spent your resources here the past few episodes. Quilly looks for airships in the night sky and like shooting stars.
No.
Good.
You're fired.
Yes. It's been so long. Milo follows Kalis,
Yeah.
Oh, that's where
but
mine went.
couldn't get in. Yes.
I was
And then
nervous
Milo's
that he
in.
was going to press that issue for a second. He was
I
like, I'm going to
was
follow
too.
him. And I was like, you sure about that? And he was like, what am I looking at? I was like, uh-oh.
Two guards. Or, not even just
Quite a lot heading into where the paladins all are. Like
Would
a
this have been-
military
would this
base,
have been
essentially.
This have been
It was night.
nighttime.
Yeah.
Okay, so the night watchers are on patrol.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's you hear the DM go, "Are you sure about that? You should really second guess it."
I was nervous he was gonna really do something dumb there because I can't pull punches on that one. So that would have been
Yeah.
He delayed
And
the
he
fucking
gets
interesting.
arrested again.
Immediately after clearing his debt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
he is.
free.
He's definitely gonna give us some very interesting side quests going forward. There's
Just
Yeah.
some new
Yeah.
side quests already.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh,
This is kind of like a side quest, like, this is like,
Yeah,
this is like a Milo side quest. If that,
okay.
that means anything.
We'll get there.
But,
yeah.
what's it called? Oh, just on the topic of Night Watchers, I just wanted to point out that me and Fraya made the fact that the guards, there's two, so we talked about chapters previously, but I think it's hilarious the fact that we made kind of the people on like guard duty in the day and guard duties like in the night, two different chapters, and they're kind of at odds with each other. They're kind of like rival groups.
Yeah,
It's
soft
like, yeah,
rivals,
fuck
the
those
day
guys.
walkers and the night walkers. Yeah,
First shift doesn't do anything. Second shift has to do everything. Clean
it's
Exactly.
precisely that
Yes.
Opener
dynamic.
versus
Yeah.
closer. Yeah.
Yep. And it's
Like
like
they ain't clean
where
shit up.
where most of them have to serve for a while before they get to actually go to where they want to end up.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah.
So, it's just a funny background thing, but yeah.
So Milo smartly decides to not press the issue with that and goes to a meeting, which my note just says Milo's meeting, and so much has happened. I think that one slipped my brain. Met up
He
at the
finds
mountain with
the person he saw in his vision,
correct.
named Phaedra, who is
Phaedra,
a
I had
person
that
from
in the
his
old one.
past. And they talk about some stuff. I'm sure at this moment everyone else in the party was sitting there shitting themselves
Mm-hmm.
at how okay Milo was with agreeing to an almost entirely detailless heist from someone who is probably definitely lying about everything she just said to him, which he never cared to look into. Yep.
Milo's side quest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I got to say a whole bunch of stuff from his past that none of you have any idea what it means. So I'm sure there's a lot of red flags and questions getting flung all over the place there. And
Mm-hmm.
he
think out of every
leaves
character.
saying he was on board.
I think out of every character, every party member, Milo is for sure the one that we know jack shit about. Actual jack shit about.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. Literally
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, let's recount
Yeah.
all the information you know about Milo. You saved his life,
Yeah.
and then you've gone on this
Paid off
adventure
his
with
debt.
him. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know
Don't talk
nothing.
to him.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what his
even when
debt was
people talk
for?
to him, he's like, yeah.
We
What was
do.
that, Ben?
We do. His debt was explained to us, and it's about as dumb as you can probably
Yeah.
think.
About
it
as
is, you know?
Milo as you could expect.
Yeah.
It's just
Yep.
petty theft.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got caught stealing in the marketplace, and as he was getting carted out of there, stuff went bad.
His,
That's a
his-
whole,
I really wish we were recording when we was introduced because it was the funniest introduction ever.
It was so fucking
It was so funny.
absurd.
Just the roles that you got as with his guard was just so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
was
poor
a
guard.
Funny.
Oh no! The first guard who just died
the
instantly.
paladin that was supposed to be
that had
taken
him.
to jail.
Yeah, no, that was a character with a
God.
name and a story and everything, and they died immediately. And I was just like,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
gone. You lost your
I
first.
think
You
those
actually
are- I
lost
think
your
the
first
place-
side quest right
Yeah,
there.
I think
That
it was like
the
a
whole.
perception quest, right? A perception check, and like you just rolled a 1, and this
It was
just
yeah.
big creature that's just rampaging through the market. The paladin just doesn't fucking realize it's doing it.
Yep, got murked
Oh, it
real
was
bad.
so funny.
It was a Paladin and Arathis, right?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, there
I think
you
it
go,
was like
right.
our very
But
first.
you focus on the stick up his ass. He couldn't
Yeah,
see it coming.
I think it was like basically like Freya's very first like screen or sheet tear of like our campaign because it's like, yeah, that guy died.
No,
No,
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
you've all made a lot of decisions. That's all I'll say. Yeah. But that was the first like big one. Was that one? It's like, oh,
I was
Yeah.
at the, okay, I was about to say, it's like, well, have there any been like have there been any egregious ones
Yeah,
that we've
Like,
done as
I
a
feel like that one was pretty egregious.
at least 3. At least 3.
okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Again,
Jesus.
you're all making decisions whether or not you know it.
See, up to our last
Mhm.
episode, I feel like we've been consistently making the right decision.
Oh,
And now
last
you're
episode?
noticing. And
Yeah,
now you're
no.
noticing how
Can't
many
say anything
decisions there
but,
are.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think 2 of those are recent.
Yeah,
But-
definitely the last one feels the last one that we made. 100%.
Sorry, Ben. We'll stop
Yeah.
teasing
No,
you
it's
with
fine.
it, but yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
fine.
Lots
It'll be something to look forward
of
to.
paper ripping on my part.
Nice. On stream?
It will
No,
be.
all my notes are on the computer.
Okay.
Most of my notes are on the
yes.
computer. So
He prints it out, then he tears it.
yeah, I don't have a printer, but I would. God, I should do that actually. That'd be fun to make a
You
little.
literally
Like,
just print it out just to rip it. Yeah.
yeah, just make a little like Instagram reel of just me tearing it and throwing it away.
Yeah.
The thing is, you just tear your monitor in half. Easy.
Out of curiosity,
Yeah.
can you actually give us the rundown on the NPC that died? Like, what was
No,
meant to? No. Oh, okay.
Aw.
I'm
no,
actually
I
kinda
don't. I
curious
don't know
if you
what
had
may or may
that-
not be
that guy.
relevant ever. So if I get to a point where I'm confident it won't matter, I can tell you. But right now, I can't say anything. Everything's
Can we
confident
get
in some
get
way.
his name at least?
No,
No,
Aw.
you can't.
no, okay.
He'll come up as like an undead paladin somewhere.
Ask
down
Milo.
the line.
See if Milo remembers.
Probably not.
Nah,
There you go.
No.
Milo doesn't
But-
like to remember names.
So back
Or ask
back
for
to
them.
this episode.
Yeah.
We had my next note was just Derek comes back to an empty table and Volkar to the pits. Where he just punches, I don't know, the air and passes out.
Yep, and it gets thrown out in the morning.
Yeah. Just. Everyone comes into breakfast. I still think Quilly had the worst morning.
Yeah.
Bird
You
poop.
shit on by a bird?
Yeah. Bird shit on her head. Yeah.
The Royal Boys is a quote said by, in reference to the group,
The Royal Boys.
the Royal Boys.
I have no fucking clue.
That's going over my head. The Royal Boys.
Yeah.
Royal Boys.
No
As in
clue.
reference to the Royal We. As another name for your group. Said by Izzy.
Oh, is it?
Izzy. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't even
I don't-
remember that.
I don't remember
Yeah,
that at
I
all.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
I've forgotten that one.
That
Yes.
Yeah. Jeez.
You stumped us.
Because it was, I think someone was like, oh yeah, the boys, and then everyone remembered Quilly, and we're like, the Royal Boys. And I'm like, oh,
Oh.
that's your group now, the Royal Boys.
That makes
As in
sense.
the Royal We.
Yes.
Oh. The next note is just one word with a ton of exclamation points. Sully! Finally met Sully, and oh, is Sully delightful.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Sully is
Uh,
my favorite NPC I've ever made.
Yes.
Yeah. Hands down.
New
Gives you a real,
leader of
like,
the Pits.
Pumat soul vibe.
Well, weirdly, I made him long before I ever knew of Pumat Soul. And then he showed up, and I was like, wow, that's poignant. So yeah, we meet
Well,
Sully.
he makes baked goods, so he's far better.
Yes, the new
Yeah.
leader of the swamp.
Yep.
Taking over after basically, someone left it a huge mess.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm sure you'll meet Sully. God, you better go back to Sully.
Oh, we
Sully
will.
part of one of your side quests?
Don't worry, I will force Sully into the story. They cannot get away from him.
Sully and Barwop?
Barwop might stay where Barwop is.
It's gonna be a team up. It's gonna be a team up.
Yeah, both of them. So
One
Ben,
shot side quest.
That's,
What do you-
sounds
what
like
do you
a
think
buddy
about
cop
Sully?
adventure.
Sully's great. What? Hold on.
I'm glad to hear it. No, just because I love him, and I've been waiting like 2 years to unveil him to the public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love Sully.
Oh, that's the NPC you were talking about. You said it back in like episode like after we turned the stream off, and like 3 or 4 episodes ago, you were like, "You guys are gonna meet an NPC, and I can't wait to unveil him."
Yep. That's him.
Okay.
That's what I was talking
Awesome.
about.
The
I love
amount-
Sully.
The amount, I just want to be Sully. You know, I've baked goods and just, I assume tea.
When you
Just like,
mentioned,
yeah, I gotta clean up this mess. That's my new job. Anyway, here's
mentioned that
like a
favorite
giant tin of
NPC.
muffins.
You mentioned that favorite NPC. I thought you were talking about a completely different character. 100%.
Who do you think?
We haven't met them yet, but I know you're gonna introduce them somehow, just because of, you know, a very, very particular
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know exactly what
I get what you mean. Um,
because you said it's like, oh, this is so amazingly like weird and just semi badass. I was like, okay, we're gonna eventually meet this character. So when we do, I'm very excited to see how that's gonna play out.
me
Claire, this
fucking
must
too.
be how everyone else feels about the end of episode 4 when we get to talk about it.
Yeah.
They're just like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
What?
There's so many.
What?
Oh, I'm gonna be keeping so many secrets for such a long time.
Uh,
But yes, I love Sully. I love their intro with him.
yes.
And yeah, he's pretty much like, hey, I've got a potential job for you, so come back.
Yes.
Come back either the next day or 2 days from there and meet with
I'm
the
not
client.
note-taker. Yeah, I'm not the note taker, but how many side quests do you all have now?
Oh, we don't pay
It
attention.
depends on what you want
I
to
don't pay
consider a
attention.
side
Great.
quest. Because what do
Yeah.
you consider the main quest right now?
Exactly.
What I consider the main quest to be
Okay.
is the whole daughter corruption thing, and
Is it really though? We don't know.
that's to me, that's what I consider it to be. Everything else to me is like side quest. But
curious,
everyone
what's
has different
everyone else
priorities. That's nice.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not keeping track either. That's not my job. I just create possibilities, and you all mop up my messes.
Both Dans, what do you think is your main quest right now?
I'm in agreement with Blair, 100%. It feels the most natural and the most like urgent because we're on a timeline that we have to follow. Everything else has not really been given a timeline.
Yeah.
That we know of. So when something's given a timeline, you definitely feel more urgent. Like you feel like, oh shit, I have to get this done. As opposed to some other things, for instance, like that cabin that we walked past and asked for all those ingredients. Where it's okay, we can find these ingredients along the way. Maybe we will eventually finish it and then get back up to that cabin and then finish what we started. Or the request is gonna be gone. Someone else did it. So we'll find out some way or another. But yeah, in terms of high priority, for sure, the whole. I'm calling it the resurrection of a lull storyline because that's essentially what it feels like, which feels very, very big for 4th level characters to be dealing with. Definitely out of their depth.
Well, the nice thing
Right.
about it though is that like when you really look at it, it's not the party taking on gods, right? It's
No.
more the party taking on some cultists, which
Which
is very
what
much
it
a level 4 thing, right?
Yes,
So,
but in terms of like the issues at stake, it's like
Yeah.
we're definitely out of our depth.
Yeah. but for Theron, it's very important because he's seen what gods can do firsthand, and if anytime you talk about bringing back a betrayer god, Theron's like, yeah, if I could do something about that, no.
IronDan, are you in
Yeah.
agreement? Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see that as like the main quest or like the big thing that needs to be solved. But then he has this like super thing that's like really right behind it. What he learned in later on in the episode.
Yes. Gotcha. So you meet Sully, get your quest from him, passed by the god of the brass, which was, I guess you guys haven't come back to them. It was just like chill sunrise vibes. I wish I took
Pelor?
more notes of it.
The
because
Dawn Father?
It must have been. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the fourth god in the city that we haven't touched on at all, really.
That's right. Who's
Yeah.
usually there most of the times, and everyone's just like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" and walks by.
Yeah, he just
Like,
kind of
"Oh,
hangs
oh,
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just, okay, that's fine. Unimportant right now. Cool.
Yeah.
We're fine. And then you go bother Nyla at work. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Everyone wanted to see Lila's place of employment, and I'm sad Theron wasn't here for this one, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Sorry, I missed
But
the
yeah.
episode.
yeah. You essentially all go bother her for finding out what she saw about you all, allegedly.
Mhm.
And I really like the intro with this when Kayla just comes right out of the gate and is like, "What'd you see?" And she's like, "Come on, dude! Like, you can't even pretend that we're friends here." And bullshit me for 3 minutes. You gotta go right
Here's
into
the-
it.
That's the funny thing. She was the one who brought it up. I would not have said anything if she did not bring up that one piece of information, which was the demon that ended up killing Juniper. She saw him and it was like, "Wait, what are you talking about? How did you see that?"
Yeah,
And as soon as she mentioned that, it's like, yeah, your scar, because the scar is essential was given to him by that demon. And ironically enough, the demon has the has some kind of, what was it? He has, I don't know if it's some fascination with Kalis, just because he also took his amulet, right?
mm-hmm.
Because that was another thing that I kind of mentioned. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did mention he took his amulet.
Your
Yeah.
amulet is her amulet.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
the amulet that Kalis has is Juniper, isn't the one that, and then he took it. But yeah, that was he didn't care. He was like, yeah, I need to know. This is this is this is beyond like pleasantries at this point. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is just a funny interaction.
yeah. It's pretty good. She's sassy,
Mhm.
as
Oh,
we know
yeah.
by now.
Yeah, I love
Lila's,
Lila. She's hilarious.
she's a bit of a bitch, but
The amount of times the party is just like, "So you can come with us on this quest, right?" And Lila's like, "No, I have to work. No, no."
y'all tried real hard. Y'all
Oh,
tried so hard to
so
get her to come. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you want to get into what everyone talks about with her or not,
Kind of.
because
I
it's
mean,
essentially half an episode.
It is.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
long.
just gonna be like a sentence, like the main bits from each. Like IronDan, Derek learned who hurt the caravan,
Or has something to deal with. Has
or at least yes,
something to deal with it.
Yep. And who is that? Tell the viewers who haven't encountered him.
It was a halfling named Coulson. He basically was just a lazy ass caravan hand that didn't do anything and left because it was too boring for him or something like that.
Wasn't did we meet Coulson in the market?
Yes, that was like
Yes.
the
Okay.
second
Uh-huh.
or first episode.
It
We met
was.
him.
No. One of the
It was the
first
same
sessions
episode we met Milo.
did.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
the same
it was
episode we met
right
Milo.
before Milo showed up. It was literally
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
scene. Yep. So he showed up, had a weird conversation with Derek, and kind of just left, and everyone was like, "Okay." And
Proud of my memory right there because I didn't take note of that. I
Yeah.
was just like, wait a minute.
See, this is why
Lazy
we're here
ass
for.
Caravan
I
hand.
had to go
Wait
find
a
my
minute.
notes from that episode
Yep.
to remember his name. And speaking of taking notes, all down was as Coulson is a bitch, hunt him down.
I actually I clipped out a little bit of the conversation that
Yeah.
ensues about you and Volkar and Kalis maybe wanting to interrogate and kill this guy. And it sort of makes Kayla seem like a psychopath, sorry, but it was
Yeah, I was about to say there's a lot of context that was lost there.
I know,
okay?
but it's just such a good conversation. It's so good.
It's like, yeah,
But-
fuck it, let's kill him.
Yeah, we see that Derek Derek's a little feisty, it seems.
Mhm.
We see a new side to him.
You hurt the caravan. You have the full wrath of Derek. Yeah.
We hear a little bit about Volkar and Derek, how they met, how Volkar used to protect the caravan. like a hired hand for that.
Yeah, hired guard or mercenary,
Yeah.
whatever. But it's because it's funny because when Coulson first came on, I didn't expect anything. Like Derek and yeah, this guy, I don't want to deal with him.
It was a very awkward conversation, and it wasn't
Yes.
like it wasn't like two people not being able to, or two players not being able to talk. It was more of like two people who didn't really like each other very much.
Yeah.
being forced to talk to one another.
Derek did not like him because
Yeah. Because
It
even I
was
was
good.
sitting
It,
there,
it ended so unresolved.
yeah, because you're just like, okay, bye, and then just dip.
Yeah.
It's just like, ooh, what's this guy?
like, yeah, he's not important. I forgot his name. That's how unimportant he was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for Derek, like, what pissed him off more, like, he didn't realize, or he was more pissed off because he didn't realize Coulson could do that. Or what? Yeah, it was like so far off his radar. That's what pissed him off.
Right. Understanding like that. Just to your last sentence of like your priority of quests, like that being right there underneath your main quest. Like, that's Derek.
Yeah. So, one thing I haven't touched on is Derek is a telepath now.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true.
Yep.
He keeps talking to everyone in their head, which is by accident, which is difficult for. I'm sure it's a little difficult for me to follow, but now I'm like, oh, right, now I get it. And then everyone else, the by accident part feels very like, I don't know, it kind of immersive to the viewer because it's also happening to all of the players as well.
It's good. It's real good.
Mm-hmm. Who's next? Milo's therapy session, I guess, with Nyla was next, which I have no notes on, which means Milo and Quilly were difficult for me to follow through. I think it's just because I kept getting interrupted when I was listening, but...
Okay, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Essentially, Lila saw, as she put it, some hot lady getting off an airship in the desert with a Leonin, which is like a, lion dude. And Milo was like, I don't know who that is. And she was like, damn, that was it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I didn't have the note, because I was just like, what'd I miss? I didn't know if that was a prior episode thing, or if it's just, no, we just don't know anything about Milo.
Nope. Blair's face says it right now. I think it's the first he's hearing of it.
That is just like every time Quilly's backstory gets brought up, I'm just like, I just want to explore it so bad.
Yeah.
It's so confusing too.
Yeah, it's just a woman who wakes up, doesn't know who she is, wreckage behind her. That's it, and it's just like I want to see.
Do you know what? At one point, we're gonna encounter some people who used to know Quilly, and they're gonna be. And it's essentially just gonna be like this. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. It's gonna be like that type of shit.
There's asked her like twice. It's like, hey, like where the airship went down, right? She's like, yeah, the pits, and I'm like, do you want to go back there? And check it out because me, the player is just like, I want to see this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, eventually we're going to the pits, so
the airship is in. It's in the Phalans, so south of the pits, actually.
Oh right, yeah. But still, I'm just like I've asked her twice. I'm like, do you want to go there? And she's just kind of like, and I'm like, okay.
I want to go there. Would you like to accompany me to your backstory?
Yeah.
It's like the question marks on the map.
Yeah.
I'm sure Izzy wants to go. Like,
100%.
I have no doubts about that, right? But I'm sure like Quilly is just like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
There's some good stuff there. There's some stuff that it's killing me to have to be as patient as I'm gonna need to be for it.
Yeah, well, it's crazy too because it's just like Quilly's not too far off from being a complete enigma like Milo. Like there's just not a lot about Quilly.
Yeah, and she's just more reliable in her decision making. So I think people focus on that less than with Milo, who's a question mark and a wild card.
Yeah. I cut the brakes. What do you mean you cut the brakes? Wow, God. That's all I'm thinking with Milo.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, essentially, I was gonna say we can probably like save a lot of the details too much, just because it's a lot of stuff and like just watch the episode to get everything.
Quilly's was next, and then Volcar. I have just 3 words. If you want to sum up Quilly's in a sentence or 2, that might be best.
Yeah. So Lila tells her that she saw the night that the airship went down.
Mm-hmm.
And that there were 2 men that were involved there, and one of them killed the other one. And Quilly did not know this. And for whatever reason, to Quilly, this was a significant thing. And that's about it. And then Lila essentially sees the same battle Volcar saw. There's really nothing new that comes out of that. She's... yes and no, but...
from the battle, no.
Yes, from the battle. But for Kayla, she saw, as she kind of already told him before, just a little bit of... Yeah, Lila saw for Kalis what happened to Demondal. And a little bit about whatever figure killed Juniper and gave him the scar. And we don't know what she saw about Theron.
Correct.
Because
he
didn't ask.
Well, we did pass over a significant thing for Volcar, which is what I have notes for, too.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we can focus on that.
1 + 1 does not equal Volcar.
Yes.
In that his parents might have lied to him.
Yeah, well,
parents?
Tiefling and a Dragonborn have a human.
That
adds up.
Yeah.
So
that's
legit.
Yeah, seems fine. We learned that Volcar has massive identity questions and issues.
Yes.
Which we've kind of known, but we see the scope of it finally comes out in this, and it kind of makes sense to like, oh, that's why he's crazy.
Yes.
Because he doesn't know anything.
On the next episode of Are You the Father?
He ends that and basically all of your Nyla therapy sessions with, thank you for shattering my preconceptions of who I am and my place in the universe.
Yes.
Great quote. I love that quote from him.
So good.
And he's so happy when he says it too. I also... I love how at multiple times, I think it's with 3 of you, Lila ends up having to mention that, you know, you might be able to learn some stuff about, you know, dead people and or yourselves if she essentially brings you right to the moment where you're about to cross from life to death, and she can help navigate that. And with Volcar specifically, she essentially fronts the idea that they should make a ridiculously complex Rube Goldberg machine to kill him, so they can explore some questions. And everyone seemed to be like, not right now, but in the future. I believe it was Quilly, Kalis, and Volcar.
I don't think Kayla. I think Kayla's like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, he was kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'll think about it, and left.
Yeah.
But Quilly was like, cool, and Volcar was like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
So
yes. Quilly
I kind of concerned to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. But if we try to unpack all of it, I think we'll be here for hours.
Forever.
But, yes.
Yeah. Essentially, everyone goes to get therapy from Lila.
Yes.
And no one ever asked her how she's doing.
I know, right? How rude.
Theron would have.
All of these.
Theron would have.
Theron would
I was
have.
chasing explosive pigs, though. I'm sorry.
To get back more on the lighthearted, we'll go one more round of Who Said It?
God, this can't be good.
This one should be easy. It's just, honey, I shot the cleric.
That was Volcar. Was that Volcar?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Volcar.
It was something
Who
this
said
person
that?
said in response to what Volcar said.
Oh, I'm not sure then, to be honest.
Honey, I shot the cleric.
Honey, I shot the cleric, which is my new one-shot campaign.
It's either Quilly or Milo.
I say Milo.
Neither.
Neither.
Is it me?
It was Fraya.
It was me.
Oh.
Wow. I don't remember that at all.
Wow.
I remember the context for it, but yeah.
That's fine. We're gonna end the episode on the the lightest comedic notes that we've probably had this entire campaign, which I'm going to play the game. We're just going to say, Kalis,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
full quote says, "Where's the closest brothel?"
Yes, that
This
is what he said.
For everyone else,
Actually, no, that's
Kalis
what
wants to-
that's what I said out of character, and then in character, Kalis absolutely knew the closest.
Yeah.
was
That's
probably-
It wasn't actually the closest. It was arguably
Yeah.
the furthest one, but it's the closest one to him.
Fair. It's the one that he knew.
And so I think we also forgot to touch on the fact that during all of this, Kalis and Volkar are making plans to go partake in a pit fight the following night.
yes, that's important.
Yes, and so as part of this, Kalis decides, I'm going to go spend all of the money I might potentially make if I win this to hire these ladies to come down as cheerleaders.
yes.
And miraculously
He's
rolls a
just-
25 on a 25 DC check.
On a 25 DC.
And
It was
Okay.
really lucky. I used the inspiration too. No.
Mhm.
you did. That's the only way you made it.
You did.
So yeah, it was.
Why
I rolled,
do you
I rolled
want-
18 plus whatever my persuasion was. Oh, it
Yep.
was 4 plus plus the 3 that I rolled on the inspiration. And it was like, motherfucker, you rolled just exactly.
Dani, why do you want cheerleaders?
I thought it would
What
be
possessed
hilarious.
you? Okay,
I thought it'd
that's
be
fair.
funny.
That's
As a character thing, I think Kalis in the back of his mind just be like, you know what? I deserve a little.
He wants some
cheer on.
validation, it seems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need a bit of a push. And so he ends up going to a brothel that he knows well. He's encountered with a couple of crazy characters. one of which has been we've already met. It was kind of like it wasn't a very long
It's a
interaction.
passing thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was the Dominus, which is essentially like the high priest of the
Of the order.
of the order, which is kind of pertains to his own little chapter, which are kind of how would you put it, like a bit separate from the rest.
They're more like
kind
the
of their
clergymen.
yeah, they're kind of their own special thing. And so yeah, he's definitely gone gambling, drinking, and done a bunch of debaucherous stuff. Whether
With the
he's
high
liked
priest.
it or not, with the high priest, which I think was absolutely just hilarious. But yeah, I thought it would just be a good time to bring out that character trait.
Yeah, no.
I
that
didn't know
shocked
about it.
Derek.
He's like,
None
"Hey."
of us were ready for it.
Yeah, that
at
shocked
all.
Derek because he just went to the Temple of Arrakis. And they got all these stern paladins everywhere. And then we go over here with a paladin of Bahamut hiring escorts and
Yep.
doing debaucherous things.
Hey, it wasn't for anything unholy. Okay, it was for an absolutely valid reason.
This
We
time.
needed cheerleaders.
Derek had a
Vanquish
vision
your
of these
enemies and get gold.
paladins, and that shattered it.
It's so good. So I'm sad that this happened at the time of night that it happened in real life,
Oh yeah.
because as soon as you start talking about it, I'm already like, okay, I don't know what this place looks like. Let me start thinking about that. Who runs this place? Who's going to be inside? And I look at the time and it's like 12:15, and I'm like, fuck, I don't have time to play this scene out because we have to stop soon. And that's why I had to shorthand it there.
Yeah.
We get more in depth with some stuff
next
that we'll check
episode.
back in next time on. But that was very disappointing for me that I couldn't, because I was like, all this stuff was just like coming to mind, and I was like, damn it, I can't do it. But I wasn't ready for it. It clearly noticeably caught me off guard.
I did.
Not everybody off guard.
Yeah, it was the biggest curveball that has been thrown at me in terms of things I never could have anticipated. And
Most
all I'll
lighthearted
say is the payoff of it,
Pretty good.
immaculate. So good. So good.
But I find that it's a curveball because I've set up this character to be a traditional paladin, knight in shining armor, tries to save people. And then you just learn that he's actually kind of reeling from his partner that he used to be in love with. But it's more so like an old wound that was reopened. And because of this trauma that has recently happened that basically brought it back up again. And so during that time in which he was healing, that 2-year period, he had some fun. He definitely spent some sad drunk nights with the Dominus, probably doing some things that he shouldn't have. Yeah, but it's nice that some people learned a thing or two about Kayla's. But yeah.
Yeah.
And at a time after, trauma, unpacking trauma, after unpacking trauma, after... Let's get a cheerleader.
Yeah.
For our fight that's going to come up.
Yeah.
Our cage
For
match, essentially.
Our trauma
Yeah.
release impromptu cage match that we both signed up for. So funny enough, I was expecting Volcar to be like, I'm going to do this, and everyone else was like, yeah, whatever. And immediately Kalis was like, yes, I'm going to go fuck this guy up. And I was like, oh, right, that makes sense. And I didn't think about that. I was just like, I want to give Volcar some fun.
It was mainly because you caught Kalis at a time just after he had talked through this vision with Lila, and then she basically mentioned, yeah, by the way, Juniper, she knows. I just hope you know. It's like she knows, and then that was the kicker. It's like he's like, fuck, damn it, man! I thought I was done with this shit. And then he's like, basically goes off sulks alone, and then Volcar comes over. It's like, you want to hit shit? And I was like, yeah, I want to hit shit. It's like, that's the Red Bull bros. That's how they take out their frustrations. They hit shit. Yes. Exactly.
Yes,
Mundo.
precisely that. Oh, but yeah, that's the weird note we end the episode on.
Moral of the story: always have a brothel prepared.
Yeah, no. As soon as you said it, I was like, I'm glad I made notes 2 years ago on this for a different campaign in Vasselheim. So I had it ready. So DMs, do your prep. Little bit goes a long way.
Though.
No, the characters weren't ready. But if you're gonna hold that against me, then come on, man.
I'm kidding. No, I'm not holding that against you. I'm not holding it against you.
I'm doing my best here. All right. Yeah. What a roller coaster.
One last thing, just kind of more meta-narratively, because I know I've asked this, and I always like to see if anyone has any specific examples to come back to. As a player, I'm sure sometimes you stifle things you want to say, or you want to do one thing, but know your character wouldn't do that. So, Blair, welcome. Is there anything specifically you thought of, anything until now, I guess, that you've maybe stifled or wanted to do but didn't because of either wanting to give someone else the spotlight or Theron wouldn't do that? And then both Dan's, has anything come up in this episode that you remembered, or these two episodes that you remembered you would have wanted to do?
There's nothing that really comes up where Theron wouldn't make the decision, because a lot of times he lets Kalis guide the party. And so far, Kalis actually hasn't done anything where Theron just like, no, I won't do this. I refuse to do this. This goes against my morals. So again, that's why he respects Kalis the most out of the group, is because their morals kind of line up quite a bit so far.
So far. You were not there for the last episode. But...
No, I was not. If I was, Theron would have been very, very confused on why they're spending a whole day tracking down prostitutes. But...
If they're not prostitutes.
Yeah.
High class escorts.
There is very much of like he wakes up and it's like, I need to get this, and this, and this done today.
Prostitutes
we're gonna go
is
see.
not
We're
in
gonna go see
there.
prostitutes. Yeah, prostitutes are not on that list. So, okay, we'll see how this goes. But so far, no, Theron's. There's nothing that I, as a player, have held back on that Theron wouldn't do yet. Yet.
Yeah. Same here. Nothing that I was a player would do that Derek wouldn't do.
We'll change that. We'll work on that.
It's hard. It's really hard, especially in this last couple episodes. It's like it feels very much like, oh, this is just Kayla's natural like trajectory. I don't think there's a couple of things like in previous episodes that I always think about. It's like, oh, if only I could have done this, it would have been cooler. But never something it's like I have to stop myself because it's not in character. It's always like for the sake that if I did this, it'd be a cooler character moment.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. But,
I think there will be potential for some different answers on that question next time we meet.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 and 8 go some directions you're not ready for.
I think Josh was like the answer to that question.
Yeah. 7 and 8 were crazy.
Oh, boy.
7,
like,
I couldn't stop laughing, honestly. But
it's pretty absurd. But yeah. Any other Ben stuff before we wrap this up?
One, I did just remember, Blair, your first time here. So we wound it. I don't know how. I do remember how we got to this, but I've asked everyone this so far. I don't know if you know the context to it, but do you remember your first gamer tag?
Ooh, yeah, man, it was a bad one. Well, it wasn't that. It wasn't that bad, but it was more of just like how did
the
Microsoft come up with this stupid name? Nagging Caesar 2 was the name, and I was just like, what?
Wow.
And I had it for maybe 2 hours before I was just like, yep, that's a name change right there.
Wow.
So what was your first voluntary one then?
Wow.
My first voluntary one was Stimulant.
Okay,
but
I see.
The one I've
Beyond
kept,
makes sense.
Yeah, the one I've kept since then though was Teddy Stimulant, because my friend was just like, oh, you see how, we play Call of Duty and we play like Gears of War and Halo and stuff like that. He's like, you had like the dumbest team names ever out there. She's like, yo, let's make fun of all these guys. Let's be the Teddy Bear Clan. So we just put Teddy in front of all our names, and so you'd be playing like Gears of War rank, getting rolled by a bunch of guys named after some fucking teddy bears.
Yes. Perfect.
Shit like that. And I've never let the game tag go since. There's a funny one. I'm actually I'm in a. You can see my name in a YouTube video that has like 250,000 views, and it's someone had been recording a Battlefront 2 video. And Anakin Skywalker had just come out, and he had got clips of me on there, and that was one of the ones where I had like a 100 kill streak going on Anakin. And I was like, oh, wow, he got that. That's interesting.
Nice.
I
There's
just
like a little
imagine
like
people on the other end just being like, "Fuck you, Teddy. I hate you."
Hey, I'll link it in the chat. But
Yeah,
it's like a minute of this guy dying to me like 4 times, and he's just like.
yeah, please send that. Actually, I want to see that. I might have to put that. It's going into the description of this, I think, because that's incredible.
Yeah,
fantastic. I love asking that question, especially now. So, Blair, I don't know if you've gotten the full context, but I asked IronDan where the iron part came from.
I think I did. I have been watching the podcast, so I did see the first couple episodes.
Good.
So I do know where that context comes from. Yeah.
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
So you're ready for that then?
I was.
Good.
I wasn't ready for you to ask it, but I was ready.
Nice. All right. I think that's it for now. So thanks again, everyone, for listening to Take 20. Presented by Rathmore Games.
Yeah,
Part
whatever.
of Rathmore Games.
Yeah, something.
Follow Rathmore Games.
We get that Red Bull
on
sponsorship.
Twitch. Yeah, exactly. Red Bull and Warner Brothers. That's what we're
God.
working on right now.
No.
Follow Rathmore Games on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yeah, all the
Yes.
social medias, really.
All of
Yeah,
them.
all right.
Yeah. And
But yeah, thank you, IronDan, Dani, and Blair for joining us tonight. Thank you, Fraya, as always, for being a DM and hosting and building this world.
Always a pleasure.
just doing my duty.
Yeah.
He said duty.
Kayla dies. Anyway, yeah, thank you all for listening or watching and supporting the show. Yeah, this is sorry about missing streaming episode 7. Life happens sometimes. But yeah, thank you, Ben, for doing this. Thank you for making time on your vacation for this. I appreciate it very much. I know I've said this every time, but the show right now is on a consistently upward trend in terms of psychoticness and overall quality, I feel. So I'm bewilderingly excited to see your thoughts on the next 2 episodes, because you'll essentially be pretty much caught up to where we are in terms of games we've played. And goddamn.
And then you'll be on an episode a week. Can't even do the 2 anymore.
I know. I'll actually have time. I'll listen to you at normal speed instead of 1.25.
But anyway,
yeah,
let's wrap this up at least for recording purposes. So thank you all. Be well. Happy gaming, and we will catch you next time.
Stay safe.